Hello and welcome to Leeroy Gaming, where today we continue our coverage of Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous that is currently in beta format. And in today's video, we're going to look at the next 4 companions that you'll have the opportunity to join your party. Now in this video, we're going to look at where and how to gain access to these companions. We're going to look at their bio histories. I'm going to also take a look at their stats, their classes, and also any specific features that have been chosen automatically for them once they join your party. Now, as always, for your convenience, I've added timestamps in the description below so you can easily navigate my video. With that being said, let's go ahead and jump right into the video. So, we are going to be starting with Mr. Woljif over here. So let's take a quick look. Now for him, we're going to be able to find him right at the beginning of the game, pretty much. So once you get out of the initial tutorial area, you come up from the underground, you're going to wake up in an inn, and that's going to leave you right over here, Defender's Heart. So as soon as you get up, you can technically leave the inn. And outside the inn, you're going to find a door that leads to kind of an underground kind of jail area, kind of a cellar of sorts. You can also access it through the house, but it's easier to just kind of navigate it from the outside. Once you get inside there, you're going to see a couple guards, and Woljif's going to be behind bars. You can talk to him and make some choices that will basically have him asking you to set him free. At that point, you got to go back into the Defender's Heart, and you're going to talk to Irabeth, the half-orc paladin that basically takes care of, I think she's a paladin. I believe a paladin or fight. I think it's a paladin. And she's basically the NPC you meet just a little bit before this, heading the defense of the city currently. Talk to her, and you'll have an option to basically vouch for him. She'll release him into your care. And there you go. Nice and easy. Barely an inconvenience. So let's take a look what he is all about. Now, let's see here. Now, story-wise, Woljif is all about no honor among thieves. As a descendant of demons, tieflings are not the most respected or trusted of Mendev's citizens, to put it mildly. However, a few minutes in a conversation with Woljif is enough to see that it isn't prejudice working against this particular tiefling. It is his puddle-deep personality, his membership of one of Mendev's biggest thief gangs, and his chronic inability to stick to anything, even his own principles. Woljif sees Leeroy purely as a convenient way to solve a few of his problems, at least for now. Now, he's got a chaotic neutral alignment. And as far as this class goes, he's going to be a rogue eldritch scoundrel. And you can find out the main overview about this class in my rogue video that's going to be popping up and found in the description below. Now, he, stat-wise, as a tiefling, has 10 strength, 20 dexterity, 14 constitution, 18 int, 8 wisdom, and 12 charisma. So he's statted up really, really well. His 2 primary stats of dex and intelligence, really, really nice and high. So he can make an excellent rogue eldritch scoundrel. Now, as far as some elements that are automatically chosen for him, he's going to have the 2-weapon fighting feat. So benefits are that penalties on attack rolls for fighting with 2 weapons are reduced. So the penalty for your primary hand lessened by 2, and the one for your offhand lessened by 6. So normally you would basically have a baseline -6 penalty for your main hand and -10 penalty for your offhand, with the caveat that if your offhand is a light weapon or unarmed, the penalties are reduced by 2 each. So basically, less penalties for dual wielding. And So that's the first thing that gets auto-picked for you. He is a pickpocket. So pickpockets add trickery and stealth to the list of his class skills. Also gains +2 bonus initiative rolls. So this is his background. He is, now I'm not 100% sure. I'm trying to remember if you get him at level 2 or 3. I want to say you get him at 3, which would mean that you get double slice also as a feat. Your offhand weapon, while dual wielding strikes with greater power, benefits. You add your strength bonus to damage rolls made with your offhand weapon. So right now he doesn't have any strength modifiers, but if you were to get, like a belt that's going to increase dexterity and strength, or dexterity, strength, and constitution, you can start benefiting from that instead of getting half the bonus. Also, let's take a look here. Weapon finesse is standard for him as a rogue. And let me see if there's anything else that has to be uniquely chosen for him. I believe everything else is standard. Weakening wound. Oh yeah, you get to choose this just automatically. Oh, and his finesse training is in dagger. So that is pre-selected for him, it looks like, as well. So that is Woljif in a nutshell. Now, next, we're going to go ahead and take a look in basically the order that I was able to get them. So the next individual is going to be Ember. Now, how do you join Ember? So Ember, you're going to meet in the market square, which is right over here. And I'm going to show you exactly where to go. Now, as far as I know, you can do this as soon as you have access to market square on the map. There's going to be a ton of quests that send you there, so it's going to be almost impossible to miss. So as soon as you get here, this is how you find her. This is where you universally zone in. And so what you want to do is you want to go in here and make this left down this alley, keep going, and you're going to come up here where there's going to be this bonfire. When you get there, there's going to be some crusaders, and they're basically going to be burning some people at the stake. Some interesting story choices come up. Deal with it how you will. But as soon as the crusaders are gone, the other people are going to be burned alive and gone, but she's just going to nonchalantly come out of the fire, talk to you, and you'll be able to have her join you. Very, very cool character. Let's take a look at her. So, bio-wise, Ember, she's a child's crusade, is her little backstory. A strange child of war, a witch who was burnt at the stake and yet survived, a godless saint ready to preach love and kindness to people and demons both, a homeless orphan who has no hope, but who gives it to countless people around her. It is hard to understand what hides behind this young elven girl's eyes and where her bare, burned feet are taking her. She wages a war of her own child crusade. All right, she is neutral good. As her portrait's amazing. You can kind of see her burned flesh on her hands, her body. She's got her crow familiar. Just looks really kind of otherworldly. Her voice is very kind of mesmerizing, very childlike. She's very, very sweet, but also a little dark in her language. It's a very unique character. Love how she's written so far. Very unusual, but very, very cool. Class-wise, she is a stigmatized witch. And if you want to learn all about the stigmatized witch, you can check out my videos covering the witch. They'll be linked, as well as I have all the other information there that you need about the hexes, etc. within the video. Now, stat-wise, she is going to have 9 strength, 16 dexterity, 12 constitution, 12 int, 13 wisdom, and 18 charisma. So not as min-maxed and optimized as we saw with Woljif, but pretty close. So she's still got good stats overall. Nothing too much to complain. Now, she does have some very unique differences than an average stigmatized witch, because there are a lot of different ways you can build a stigmatized witch. Here are her unique elements that you start with automatically. She gets point-blank shot, which is very, very helpful. The +1 bonus on attack and damage rolls with ranged weapons at range of up to 30 feet. Her background is Medieval Orphan. So Medieval Orphans add lore religion to the list of her class skills. She also gains a +1 bonus on saving throws against demons. At level 3, I also want to point out, I believe this was auto-picked as well, but it may not have been. I think you get her at level 3, you may get to choose this. So pretty decent choice to get precise shot. That's going to basically allow her to shoot into melee without the -4 penalty to hit. This is big because, again, especially at low levels, you're not going to be casting that much. You have limited number of spells. So being able to do range attacks effectively, these two just combo really, really well, these feats. Now, she gets the slumber. I guess, I don't know if this is technically the hex, but she gets the slumber effect. Which is a witch can cause a creature within 30 feet to fall into a deep magical sleep. As part of spell sleep, creature receives a will save to negate the effect. The save fails, the creature falls asleep for a number of rounds equal to the witch's level. So it is a hex. My apologies. So she gets the hex can affect creature of any HD. This hex ends immediately if the creature takes damage. Whether or not the save is successful, a creature cannot be target of this hex again for 1 day. So you get the slumber hex automatically. You also get Vulnerability Curse, which can make her enemies vulnerable to energy. This hex lasts for a number of rounds equal to the witch's level, during which any energy resistance or any immunities on the target are suppressed. Successful will save reduce this to just 1 round. So this could be very, very powerful if you can get it off, especially for things like in this campaign, if they have fire resistances or fire immunities, you could bypass that, which is helpful since she gets a bunch of fire spells, as you'll see. She gets a Raven Familiar. So Familiar is a magical pet, enhances the character's skills and senses. Raven Master gains a +3 bonus on persuasion checks and a +2 bonus on perception checks. And this is basically just like a toggle you click, and the Raven pops out and flies around. And then her other feature is blackened. So she's a blackened witch, basically. So your hands and forearms are shriveled and blackened. That's the element that you choose for being a stigmatized witch. There's a lot of choices. But this one, so your hands and arms are shriveled and blackened as if you had plunged your arms into blazing fire and your thin, papery skin is sensitive to touch. Makes sense. She was just burned at the stake. You take a -4 penalty on weapon attack rolls, but you add burning hands to your list of spells known. So she's not great with weapons. Especially, so for example, if you could imagine, if you have that penalty and also precision shot, if you don't have precision shot, that's like a -8 to hit. You're not going to hit anything. So this at least kind of helps her be semi-viable, while she still has the lower levels and less amount of a low amount of spells. But additionally, at 5th level, you're going to add Scorching Ray and Burning Arc to your list of spells. At 10th level, Fire Snake to your list of spells known, and your penalty on weapon attack rolls is reduced to -2, so not as bad anymore. And at 15th level, you add Hellfire Ray to your list of spells known. So those are all the unique elements that are brought to Ember when you get her. Okay, let us move on to the very special Nenio. Okay. She's a secret companion. She's a secret kitsune companion because when you meet her, you will not know she is a kitsune. In fact, in just a moment, you're going to see pop up on the screen a picture of what she looks like normally when you first meet her, and then when she transforms. Now, I'm not sure if there's supposed to be a story event that has her transform. What happened with me is I swapped out a different character for her mid running around. And by the time I went back to the home base, she was sitting at the home base transformed. And the portrait changed and everything like that. So I don't know. I doubt it's supposed to be like that nonchalant. I would assume it'd be like some sort of story event. Maybe it's not present, or maybe I glitched it. But at this point, once she goes in this form, I have not figured out how to change her back. Now, going back to how you can unlock her. Well, basically, what I have found out from some testing is as soon as you do anything, it seems like in a market square, especially unlocking Ember, all you have to do is leave and just travel out in the world. And you're going to run into a random event almost immediately. And in that random event, you're going to run into her. She's interacting with some cultists, messing with them, like taking them through a test. Deal with it how you will. As soon as you deal with the cultist / crusaders there, they're basically, she's going to offer to join you, or rather offer for you to join her, and you have her as part of the group. Now, I'm a little torn about her, and I've been hearing this sentiment amongst other people too. She's pretty annoying, just personality-wise. But she's a kitsune, which is really, really cool. So, you might love it, you might hate it, but she's a kitsune, which is really, really cool. Okay, so let's talk about her story. Life in the name of science. Line between fascination and obsession cannot be seen up close, only from a distance. Nenio considers herself a great scholar, master of all sciences, and an unparalleled experimenter. But most others see her as a lunatic in thrall to knowledge. She is neutral, true neutral as far as her alignment. Her stats are 7 strength, 18 dex, 12 constitution, 18 intelligence, 9 wisdom, and 13 charisma, 18 dex, 18 int. Pretty nice. Generally pretty optimized for what she is. And she is a scroll savant wizard. So check out my wizard video. It's linked below. And there I talk about all the variants of the wizard. Basically, the big difference here is they get benefits on using scrolls. You can also, in this game, when you camp, craft scrolls, so you get access to more scrolls potentially. And that's the main trade-off, is she's big on using scrolls. Do that what you will. She begins with, let's take a look, spell focus and evocation. That's a +1 to difficulty class for all saving throws against spells from the school of this magic that she selected. She has a background of Scholar Arcane, which allows you to select one cantrip from Wizard list and get it as a spell-like ability at will. Okay. Let's see here. Also, her specialist school is Illusion. Her opposite school is Abjuration and Necromancy. So again, the specialist school of Illusion is going to give her Blinding Ray as a standard action. You can fire a Shimmering Ray at any foe within 30 feet as a ranged attack. The ray causes creatures to be blinded for 1 round. Creatures with more hit dice than your wizard level are dazzled for 1 round instead. You can use this ability a number of times per day equal to 3 plus your intelligence modifier. You also, at level 8, you're going to get an invisibility field. You can make yourself invisible as a swift action for a number of rounds per day equal to your wizard level. These rounds do not need to be consecutive. This otherwise functions as greater invisibility. And I want to make sure. And so those are all the unique elements that you need to know. There's the Blinding Ray we just talked about. And the opposite schools, again, as I mentioned, Abjuration and Necromancy. So that is Nenio in a nutshell. Now, the final character covered today is going to be Daeran. Okay. Now, how do you get Daeran? Basically, when you're still in that same marketplace and starting from where you began, you are going to want to head down here instead. Instead of making that left, you're going to go straight down ahead. There's going to be a skill check here to make this rubble create like this makeshift bridge. You're going to go across here. You're going to go up here and to the right, and it's going to lead you to the market square. Now, this is where basically in the intro, the dragon died. You're going to have a quest that tells you to go here to find some sort of something magical, something kind of left over from the dragon being around. It kind of hints at it. I don't want to spoil the story. Now, I do not know if you need to be at that point of the story or not. That's when I had happened to go over here to find this event, but it is very possible that you may be able to get this right away. Needless to say, when you do go here, you're in this central market square, keep going right. you're gonna notice the big pile of blood. This was the blood of a dragon. The characters will comment on it. Follow the blood trail, and right around here, where they have this fireplace, what you're gonna find here is a servant will run up to you, freaking out, saying, "Hey, my master's house is being attacked with demons. Please come help." If you accept that quest, it's now going to go and provide you with a new spot on the map, and I'm going to show you that right now. So you're basically going to be heading to a party house. It's called the Arende Party House. Okay. Now, when you get there, you're going to quite literally see this big party scene, this feast, lavish mansion, like go-go dancers, male and women, like dancing on the tables, and then a demon invasion occurs. You got to fight off all the demons, and you're going to talk to the NPC for the quest. Now, be careful. You could very easily just leave right after that, from what I gathered. But there is going to be this special NPC or this character who is the lord of the house, Daeran, just stand there amongst the other NPCs. Make sure you talk to him. When you talk to him, he's going to just jab a bit, and you'll have the opportunity to have him join you. Now, he is quite a character, very pompous, as you're going to see. I just love the line. He kind of, when you tell him, "Hey, by the way, we need to get you out of here. It's not safe. Demons are coming." He's like, "It's not a big deal. I'm just going to party initially." And he's like, "Oh, I didn't like this house anyway. I was going to either sell it or just burn it down and destroy it and build a new one anyway." So that's kind of his motto in life. Very wealthy, just doesn't care what happens. And this goes in line with his backstory here. So, a contrary soul. Falling victim to a deadly demonic plot would be enough to give anyone a grim outlook on life and on the looming threat from the abyss. But the young Count Daeran is a contrary soul. He sees the world as a grand playground and seems to turn a blind eye to the self-sacrifice of the Crusaders and the horrors of war. Feasts and frivolity, banquets and banter. Daeran lives like the world is ending, and it very well might be. He is neutral evil. Now, let's take a look at his class and his setup. So he is an oracle, and make sure to check out my forthcoming video on oracles. You're going to see him linked in the description below, as well as popping up like the other videos. Now, his stats as an Aasimar, and he is a Mustache Azada-blooded Aasimar, giving him the +2 racial bonus to dexterity and charisma, and a +2 racial bonus to persuasion and ability checks, and he can use glitter dust spell once a day. Now, if you're curious, by the way, about the various types of Aasimars and the races and sub-races, including the new Kitsune sub-race options, do check out my races video that is posted, and you can find that linked as well. So his stats are 7 strength, 16 dexterity, 14 constitution, 11 int, 14 wisdom, and 20 charisma. So really, really good layout for an oracle. Now, what features does he have when you first get him? Well, you're going to get, he's going to have selective channeling. This is big. So whenever you channel positive energy to heal the living or channel negative energy to heal the undead, you do not affect enemies. When channel positive energy to damage undead or channel negative energy to damage living, you do not affect allies. So it's all the best setups. You don't harm or heal the wrong people, because normally it impacts everybody in that giant radius that it does. His background is Emissary. So Emissary adds Persuasion and Knowledge World to the list of class skills, also becomes proficient with rapiers and bucklers. You're going to get also at level 3, since you get him at level 3 at a minimum, extra channel oracle, so you can channel energy 2 additional times per day. So he's big on channeling. You're going to get, so here's your channeling feature. Your channel positive energy like a cleric. So using your oracle level as your effective cleric level when determining the amount of damage healed or caused to undead and a DC. And you can use this charisma +1 modifier. So you can use it already 6 times right off the bat. +2 because of that feat. So it should be what, 8 times already. You get safe curing. So whenever you cast a spell that cures the target of hit point damage, you do not provoke attacks of opportunity for spell casting. That's big. I'm assuming that's in case you want him in melee. So you'll notice, as I mentioned, his emissary background lets him be proficient with rapiers and bucklers. So he could be kind of a very much like one of the other beginning Camilla, who does the rapier and buckler setup. So you could basically, this could be the evil version of her in your group. The other features he has Powerless Prophecy. So you are forewarned of danger, but cannot act to prevent it. You gain Uncanny Dodge as a role class feature, but you are staggered for the entire first round of combat. At 5th level, you get a +4 insight bonus on initiative checks. 10th level, you gain improved Uncanny Dodge as a rogue ability, using Oracle level as your rogue level. And at 15th level, get +4 insight bonus on all saving throws and to your AC during the first round of combat. So during that round where you're basically staggered. You're gonna also, let's see, your domain is life, or sorry, it's not actually. Is this domain? No, I don't. I believe this is. I don't think this is his domain. I'm not 100% sure. The way this is making it look is just saying Oracle of the Life Mystery adds lore nature to our list of class spells. So that's his mystery. Sorry, that's one of the features, I guess. And cure spells. In addition to the spells gained by oracles as they gain levels, oracles add all the cure spells to her list of spells known. Cure spells include all spells with the cure in the name. These spells are added as soon as the oracle is capable of casting spells. So that's a big deal. And here's the note of the Uncanny Dodge. So very, very specific build out. I feel like it's a very solid build out. If you're looking to have a neutral evil character in your party, an oracle, you could definitely do worse. And his story definitely looks like it's going to be interesting. So that covers the second batch of 4 companions. Hope you guys found this helpful. If you have any other questions, comments, or anything, corrections, if I got anything wrong, do comment below as always. And as always, guys, remember, like, subscribe, share this with people you know. This is Leeroy from Leeroy Gaming, and I'll see you guys in the next video.